All right. All right. Let's see here. All right. Welcome to the call. Thank you so much for joining me. All right. Let me make sure that I can see my peeps out here. Yeah. Let's see. All right. Let's go ahead and get started. It is 11:30 a.m. Central Time, right on the dot. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for joining me for the ultimate secret to doing the highly paid work that you love. Thank you for joining me. If you're joining me on Facebook, welcome. If you're joining me on the call here, welcome, welcome. Hopefully, you can hear me okay. Let me know in the comment section. Let's see here. I think, let's see here. All right, all right. Okay, so welcome. Today we're going to evaluate our businesses and discover if we're working to our highest maximum potential. I hope you're as excited as I am. As I was kind of preparing for this, I got excited all over again. So I'm looking forward to hearing comments and seeing comments on uh, this content to see that if you're excited, then I'm excited. We're both excited, right? So let's get started. All right. So, welcome to the day's training, the ultimate secret to doing highly paid work that you love. Today, we're going to evaluate our businesses. We're going to evaluate and discover if we're working to our highest potential. Okay. If you're not sure you're working to your highest potential, then this is for you. If you want to up your game, if you want to up level your business and you're not sure, then this is for you. This is absolutely for you. If you're looking to reevaluate things in your business so you can spend more time doing what you love instead of doing things that you hate, right? That's what this is all about. So, loving what you do is what will keep your business running, keep you excited, keep you motivated, keep you inspired. I mean, for years to come. Okay. All right. So before we get started, I want to share a little bit about me just to kind of help you, help us connect actually, because some of you that may be on the call may never have interacted with me before, may have no idea who I am or what is she talking about, right? And so I want to introduce myself to those of you who may not have spoken with me before or been on my Facebook Live or what have you. So by introduction, my name is Aldrima Harper. I'm an online operations strategist and I love helping coaches, consultants, and service-based entrepreneurs to get back their most valuable asset, and that is their time. I'm also the co founder of the AAC co working community and the Wisdom Inspired podcast. So if you are familiar with that, awesome, awesome. But what I wanted to share was a little bit about, the fact that when years ago, back in the early 2000s, when I started out my business, I had no systems in place. I had no documentation in place. Everything was in my head. And I don't know about you, but that's not a good place for things to be stored, right? And so it was an exciting time for my business. Things were, moving and shaking. I was growing in my business, but there were still things in my business that I needed to fix, right? I needed to fix so that I could really love my business and love what I was doing, right? And I really love my business. I have always loved what I do for my clients, and I've always been in love with, administration, organization, systems, all of that kind of stuff. So that's always been my passion. So when I started my business, I was really focused on that, right? And so little did I know that there were things that I needed to fix, right? So that I could love what I was doing even more and enjoy my business even more. Otherwise, it was really going to just take me out. Okay? And that's not what I want for you. So those of you that's on this call or that's joining me, I want you to begin to enjoy your business, enjoy what you do, enjoy having a low stress, highly profitable business because it is indeed possible to do that, right? So, who doesn't want a low stress, highly profitable business, right? It seems to me that's the goal of every business owner that I know. It should be that one of the goals, you know, you want profit, you want to be in a business that's fulfilling, right? And so again, that seems to me that that should be, one of the goals of every business owner. It goes without saying that stress in some fashion will come with the territory. Okay, that's going to come with the territory, but with the right procedures, the right processes in place, that stress can become much, much lower than what you're dealing with right now. If you're dealing with a lot of stress in your business, right? And the deal is, there's so many coaches and consultants and service based entrepreneurs that I talk to that's really stressed. That's stressed in their business. That's exhausted from doing everything on their own and in their business. And after all, I mean, really, that's who we are. We're coaches and solopreneurs, and we love working from home and we love doing what we do, right? But it shouldn't be, highly stressful, a highly exhausting type of thing, right? Um, we should be enjoying our business, but that joy can be short lived once we become aware of just how many administrative tasks, how many things that we're doing in our business, how many moving parts there are in our business that's needed to keep these things running, to keep our businesses running, right? I had done a post yesterday. In fact, I did a post in one of the groups that I'm in, and a post on my page asking about what are the things that drain you, in your business. And I can tell you all of the things that I saw sound so familiar, right? From administrative tasks to doing things like, the social media part, paperwork, systems, all of those things. I mean, it was like right on point. And I totally get it because, again, in my business, these were the things that I neglected to document. I neglected to document my processes. I neglected to keep things organized because in my business, this is what I was doing for others, right? But it became so overwhelming that some of my things were not getting done, okay? And so, again, this is not what I want for you, but it's really, uh, um, uh, these are things that when we are in our businesses, we tend to neglect because really those things, you know, is, well, let me say it this way. Those are not the things that's going to make us the money in our business, right? The administrative tasks, the paperwork, things like that. These are not things that's going to keep our business moving forward. They may be necessary, but they're not things that we need to do on our own, right? So here's the thing. So as I was, thinking about this, I was thinking about, when I first started out in my business and how stressful and how exhausting it was, and how I really started to get a little bit closer to, I enjoyed what I was doing, but I was so exhausted. It was like if I get one more client, if I get one more phone call, if I have one more thing to do, I'm just, I don't know. It's just like I said, it's going to take me out, right? And I didn't want that because, in terms of my clients and the work that I was doing, it was definitely fulfilling, and it still is. So that's why I'm so passionate about this. And so the thing is, that even though, the joy of running our business can be short lived with, you know, all of the tasks associated with it, with running our businesses, right? We As we become more aware of just how many of those tasks that it takes, right, to keep things running, the more we can get overwhelmed, right? And that doesn't even, we're not even talking about the hours that you need to market your business, right? The coaching the clients, the consulting things that you do, the actual fulfillment of the things that you do in your business, creating products to sell, right? It's like, this is insane. But here's the thing, I do have good news. There is a way to discover more time in your day. There's a way to discover, how to fall in love with your business without doing all the work that you hate, but doing more of what you love in your business, right? And just, again, fall in love with your business all over again, right? The thing you need to do is just to take a little bit of time, right, of introspective work. Okay, write down a few lists that will kind of get you started on those things, right? Even while you're on this call, right? So hopefully, if you're called in, that you have, pen and paper ready, and the things that we're going to be talking about on this call is going to help you really get things moving in the right direction, especially for, the year that's coming in. You want to have a fresh start, and you want to just really begin to do things a little bit differently in your business so that you can move the needle, right? And doing this from time to time is absolutely necessary and beneficial for newbies and those that's been in your business a while, right? You need to take the time to do these exercises, right? And it's like a form of personal development. And we can all benefit from personal development. It doesn't matter, how old you are, or how long you've been in your business. Personal development and this type of training and this type of personal development is necessary for your business. So let's start off by exploring whether or not you're doing the work that you love, right? Um, and I want to do this by asking a simple question. So the simple question is this: do you jump out of bed eager to start your work? Eager to start your work day? Or do you hit the snooze button and find multiple reasons to procrastinate? When I put that post on my social media page, I mean, all of the responses and the comments that I saw, were absolutely like draining. I mean, like, even just looking at some of those things, the energy, not so much from the post, but the energy from the people that were commenting on the post, I can feel their pain. I could feel the pain that was associated with the things that drains, us as entrepreneurs, right? But finding work that excites you is what makes your business fun and profitable, right? When you're eager to do the work, you'll spend your day doing the tasks that you love, right? Knowing which tasks you love also makes it easier to recognize when those opportunities appear, right? Which ultimately will lead to more profit. Okay. And what I mean by that is, if you are bogged down with administrative tasks and things that's not moving your business or moving the needle in your business, if you're doing things that you should not be doing as a CEO of your business, you're going to miss out on opportunities because you're not going to recognize them, because you're going to be you're bogged down with those things that's not rendering you any profit. It's not, you're not able to seize the moment, right? And so You won't be stuck taking every client that knocks on your door, right? You'll learn to be more selective. That is so important. More selective and only work with those you feel a connection with. So those are the type of opportunities that you can miss out on when you're doing everything on your own, doing everything in your business, and not doing the things that you really love, the things that keep you fired up, right? So the question is, how do you determine, if this is the work you love, right? How do you determine what are the things that you are in love with about your business, right? How do you know if this is your life's calling? How do you know if this is what God has called you to do? How do you know all those things? These are some things that I really want you to kind of think about as you move into a new year, of high expectation and excitement and momentum, right? But the thing is, only you can make those determinations. I can't make those determinations for you, but what I can do is help guide you through some of the steps to help you, right? So on this call and on this training, you're going to get some aha moments. You may discover that you're in the exact right place in your business, right? Or you may find that you're not in love with your business and you're going to have to put in some work, to make some shifts and do some course correction. Okay? And so the when I ask, some of these questions, and when you begin to just ponder on some of the answers, to the questions, keep in mind that neither of these answers are right or wrong. It's just something that you need to be more honest with. You need to be more honest with yourself so that you can get on the right path, right? So that you can do the course correction, so that you can do the things that's needed so that you can be in love with your business, okay? Because gone are the days of working in a job or working on a job that you hate with clients that you don't even like, right? I mean, who wants to do that? Because there are, don't think of it, and hopefully this is not any one of you on this call here. Hopefully you're not in a place, or even if you are, in a place where you think there's no alternatives. Hopefully you will get some answers as we continue to talk through this process. So we're going to be on here for a little while. So again, take out your pen and paper. And so um, I want you. Here's what I want you to remember. I want you to remember that every circumstance, everything has an alternative. But sometimes you just have to think more creatively or more innovatively to see it. And you're definitely going to have to free up your time so that your brain has time to process a lot of the ideas and things that you think about in terms of your being able to have a high level view of your business. So hopefully, you can get some guidance on this call today. So let's move into the first step. Okay, so grab out your pen and paper and let's get to work. Okay, so we all agree that if you do the work you love, you'll be happier, right? You'll be more fulfilled. You'll be more profitable in your business. And this is all at the same time. It's entirely possible. But what I want you to think about are all of the tasks involved in running your business, both in dealing with your clients and handling the back end tasks. Okay? And so this is going to be a time where you can brainstorm a list of just taking notes every day of every task that you can think of, everything that you can think of. This is something that I take my clients through when I'm coaching and consulting with them, right? And you will be amazed at the results that you see when you actually go through this exercise, right? Every task that you can think of, from monthly billing to responding to emails to coaching your clients, whatever it is, you really need to sit down and do some serious brainstorming about those tasks, right? And so, what I want to do is help you to divide these tasks into four categories. And what we're going to use as a framework is a book entitled The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. And so you can find it on Amazon. If you just do a Google search, you'll be able to find this book. But it's entitled again, The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. Okay. Now, there are actually four main categories. All right. So the first category is the zone of incompetence. The zone of incompetence. You can type that in. You can, if you're on my Facebook page, you can type that in because I'm actually hanging out on my Facebook page. Just go to Chief Online Operations Strategist, and my page will come up. But number one is zone of incompetence. Okay, so what happens in this zone? This zone includes tasks that you don't understand and you're not good at. Okay? Zone of incompetence. And I'm going to tell you right now, I have attempted to operate in that zone and it doesn't work, right? It also includes tasks that you actively dislike. So you don't understand, you're not good at it, and you don't even like doing it. Right? This is a zone of incompetence. So these right now I'm going through the four main categories that you need to be aware of, and I'm using the framework from The Big Leap, um, a book by the book is entitled The Big Leap, and the author is Gay Hendricks. So, technical tasks, I'm still in the zone of incompetence. Technical tasks are or bookkeeping tasks often fall into this zone for a lot of people. Some people cringe at the idea of learning new software, while others will go for months on end, not even knowing if they're making a profit because they refuse to look at their accounting or their bookkeeping. So I'm going to tell you, I have fallen into that category. I do not like bookkeeping. I do not like data entry, right? Um, and these are tasks, that's very common, and tasks that you that's necessary in your business, right? Because if you're not keeping up with the data, if you're not keeping up with the administrative parts of your business, if you're not keeping up with the accounting, I'm here to tell you it's not going to look good. Okay. So others may complain about the difficulty in creating content or keeping up with their social media accounts. That was something that as I just shared on my social media feed and my account, and I was asking that question. I can't tell you how many people put that as a response when I asked the question, what are the things that drain you, the tasks that drain you in your business? Social media was one of them. And so again, it has become a more necessary task because you want to get, the goal is to get exposure. The goal is to, get your business out there, right? But here's the thing, what happens is a lot of people get busy solely with client work and they wonder why they don't have any engagement on their social media platform is because a lot of times they're operating in that zone of incompetence. And these are tasks that you dread that fall into this category. So the first category is the zone of incompetence. Okay. The next one is the zone of competence. Okay. In this zone, this includes tasks that you can do, right? And so, but you don't enjoy. And I can tell you, I have also fallen in this trap. I have fallen in this trap time and time again, right? Maybe you understand, for example, maybe you understand QuickBooks, but if you don't enjoy those bookkeeping tasks, place bookkeeping into your zone and you place bookkeeping into your zone of competence, then it's not going to serve you well, right? And so this zone of competence means that it's something that you can do but you don't enjoy it, right? And so I can tell you, I'm one that I know how to do QuickBooks, I know how to use QuickBooks, but I can tell you I hate doing that. I don't like doing bookkeeping. I don't like data entry, and I don't like using QuickBooks. Nothing against QuickBooks. I know people that can do it, but that's something that someone else has to do for me anyway. So uh, maybe you know how to put sentences together, but you dread writing blog posts. There's another example. That means you're in the zone of competence. Just because you know how to write those social media posts or go live on your Facebook page doesn't mean you enjoy doing it, right? And if you think social media is a necessary evil, as one of my friends called it, that's your zone of competence speaking. Okay, so again, zone of competence is it's something that you can do, but you don't enjoy doing it, right? And as solopreneurs, a lot of us fall into this trap, thinking we have to know everything and do everything ourselves. But I can tell you, it is possible to get out of this zone. Okay, the zone of competence. So there's the zone of incompetence, right? Which includes tasks that you don't understand and are not good at. And then there's the zone of competence, which include tasks that you can do, but you don't enjoy. There's the difference, okay? All right, let's move to the next one. The next one is your zone of excellence. Zone of excellence. Now, this one is kind of tricky because it really includes tasks you are very skilled at and that you enjoy. Many people make good money in this zone, but usually have a nagging feeling that something is missing, right? There's something that's, not quite working. And some coaches even make this mistake of thinking that this is their zone of excellence, which is the next, which, what we're talking about now. And so, but because they have found some level of success there. Coaches in general thrive off the personal interaction with their clients, with their social followers, so you may place your, private coaching and social media tasks in this zone, right? Because it's kind of tricky, right? And so because you're making money at it, right? But here's the thing. Are your coaching sessions and your social interactions what you live for each day? That's the question. Well, I can tell you, not me. I don't, okay? And so, but again, this is a really, really tricky one, right? That you really have to think about. So jot down these answers on your list, right? On your task list. And so the next one is your zone of genius. Now, this is the area where you have extraordinary strength, extraordinary talent, or innate ability, right? This zone includes the things that you do with ease and precision. You enjoy doing it, right? And if you want to create low stress, highly profitable business, right? Then this is the zone that you need to strive to spend most of your time in. Okay? And I can tell you, for me, that's systems and processes and automation. And so I absolutely love doing that. Now, I bet you already have a good start. So on sorting these things out into these four categories. And I'm going to give those to you again, and then we'll keep moving forward. So you have your zone of incompetence, right? These consist of the tasks that you're not good at and you don't enjoy. Then you have the zone of competence, which consists of the tasks that you can do but dislike. Okay? There's the zone of excellence, which consists of the tasks that you're quite good at and you do enjoy, but you know that there's something amiss there. Then there's the zone of genius, which consists of those tasks that you can do with ease and you do enjoy. This is where your greatest strengths and talents will shine. And I want you to keep working on those this exercise even after we are off of this call. And if you're following me on Facebook, I would love to see what your comments are in terms of that. And so I believe that going through this exercise is really going to give you a visual representation of what's required to make your business run and which tasks you should and should not be directly involved in. That doesn't mean that they don't have to be done. However, you don't have to be the one to do that, right? So the question becomes, why is your genius zone so important? Why is this zone so important? So when you're operating in this zone, you tap into the flow, okay? Much faster and much easier. So you're naturally getting things done faster, easier, and better. Okay? You can be more productive because you're working most efficiently with the positive energy. Energy is so important, right? And I know a lot of you have probably heard this phrase. You're in your zone, right? That feeling of accomplishment and productivity that comes with it from this zone, right? I can tell you when I get in that zone, it is so energizing, right? The second thing is you will feel filled up and energized, like I just said, versus drained by the work that you're doing, right? So you'll do more inspired work without feeling depleted, right? Have you ever been depleted? I remember when I first started out in coaching, I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea, um, you know, the, what that work really looked like, but I was willing to try. And so I remember having a client, like one of my first clients, and so it quickly turned into a counseling session, and I kept wondering why I dreaded having this call. It was a call that was once a week, and I literally dreaded working, not the person. I really loved the person, but I dreaded the call because it depleted me afterwards. It was draining, and it was because I was operating in my zone of incompetence because I am not a counselor, right? And there's a difference between coaching and counseling. So I wanted to make sure that had that example because it's so important to examine some of the reasons why you may be feeling depleted and drained in your business. And so you really need to examine, all of these things. So make sure this is an exercise that is extremely important, right? When you're feeling depleted, this is where you'll see procrastination set in, right? Because you're either bored or you don't want to do that task, you know? And so, yeah, and so, when you're in your genius zone, instead of feeling drained, you may actually feel like you have more time in your day because of how efficiently you're actually working, right? Thank you, Karma. I appreciate your comment. Yeah, I knew what I was doing. Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much. Um, and so the other thing is in your genius zone, this is where you're most likely to produce your more exceptional work, right? Your work that equals uh, excellence. Your clients are happy. Your customers are happy. When you're doing work that fills your heart and your interests and your brain is, you're happy to do it, you have more clarity, you have more focus, and all of this leads to the desire to make the work more awesome, right? Rather than just getting to finish it and move on, right? Have you ever been there, where it's like, oh my goodness, I just can't wait to get this done so I can be done with this, right? And so that's why, your zone of genius is so important, right? And finding this zone of genius is a process that you can find if you're willing to put in the introspective work and keep your mind open to making the changes in your business, to making the necessary changes and the course corrections as we talked about. And the good news is you don't have to completely recreate your business. You may need to just make a pivot, right? And so all it takes is a little brainstorming, and keeping this list before you so that you can work out all the details and see how you can make that pivot. Now, the not so good news is that finding your unique genius zones means that you are going to have to make some shifts sometimes, that and change sometimes can be challenging, right? Just like any other form of personal development, you need to spend some time to decide where your zone lies and how you can embrace it, and then begin to spend majority of your time in that place, right? So here are a couple of tips on how to find your genius zone, right? So number one, first you want to start off by looking at your current business activities, just like I had said early on on this call, and is that you're going to have to sit down and take a look at what your activities are, and you need to do it with a discerning eye, right? You need to do it with honesty, right? And authenticity, making sure that you are looking at what your daily routine looks like. Don't sit down and say, okay, I do this activity, but then it takes, let me see, it takes about 15 minutes, but then it's actually taking about 45 minutes, okay, or an hour, to do it. Be honest, right? Consider whether or not you can have a plan of action, right? Have a plan of action for each day. Do you have a plan of action? That might be the question. Or do you just do whatever, right? That These are the questions that you have to be honest with yourself about, right? Jot down all the tasks that you do each day. Even if you can't think of them all, jot down the notes during the week. So take some time, to do this. This is something that, again, I work with my clients, in doing this. So that was the first thing. So the next thing you want to do is, again, with that discerning eye, you want to look at your list and ask if you're working efficiently. Is this the most efficient way, or the most efficient way that I can be using my time, right? Do all of these tasks, and this is a really important one, do all of these tasks have to happen? Do you know that there's nothing you have to do? Right? There's nothing you have to do. Now, there are consequences associated with things that you choose not to do or you choose to do, but there's nothing you have to do, right? And so, think about the fact, do all of these tasks have to happen? When do they need to happen? Are you the only person that can complete these things? Is there another way, or an automated solution that will help me to complete this task and free up my time, right? And be open minded, right? Ask your business peers. There may be some technology, that they're using in their business that you might be able to use in your business. Okay. Next, you don't be shy about completely ditching or eliminating certain tasks that drains you, or outsourcing them. You can ditch them or outsource them. Please hear me. There's nothing more freeing than eliminating some things that you realize, like, you know what, that was not getting me to the place I wanted to get to anyway, right? And so, if you're working more efficiently, or there's some solutions out there, that where you can uh, have do the same task in less time, then try it out. Be open to it, right? And even if you don't have the budget, like to hire a VA or something like that, start small, right? We have clients in our community that that's really looked at this and hired a VA, to help them, like with 5 hours a month, or things like that. So it's a great way to get started, right? In terms of doing these type of activities. Okay? And so the ultimate goal is to spend the majority of your time working in your genius zone. That's really it. This is when you're likely to discover that you fluctuate back and forth with your genius zone and your zone of excellence too. However, you should first work toward removing any tasks in your zone of incompetence. That's the zone you don't want to work in, right? Because you're going to absolutely be stressed, depleted, and unfulfilled, right? So, find ways to automate, delegate, or terminate the task, right? And so your brain will thank you for it. Trust me on that. Aim high to strive to get those tasks from your of incompetence and your zone of competence off your plate. Okay? Work your way through the first zone until you're happy with the results. Then work your way through the second zone until you're happy with those results. Just because you can do something doesn't mean that you should. Okay? Now, one more little exercise for you before we get off this call. Close your eyes for just a moment. I want you to imagine finally having the time, the energy, and resources to work on the dreams and projects you've always wanted to. How does that feel? How does that make you feel? And when you close your eyes, try to absorb. If you're driving now and you're listening to this call, please don't do that. but but if you are in a place where you can actually close your eyes and just really imagine saving time and energy and not having to continue doing everything in your business, just imagine the freedom that you have. I don't know about you, but that's the reason I got into my business, so that I would have freedom, right? Freedom to do the things that I wanted to do. Now, that doesn't mean that on the front end of your business, when you're first started out, it's not going to take some time to get there, right? And so, because it took me some time to get there, and I know that but it's definitely something that's crucial to this process, right? And so, but if you take a look at the things that you're doing in your business and see how you can move to only working those things that's in your zone of genius, you'll operate more like a CEO and less like a busy bee, right? Who wants to be a busy bee? That's, that badge of honor of being, oh, I'm just so busy, I'm just so swamped and all that kind of stuff. That's not sexy. Okay? That's not sexy. Okay? So, when you're able to focus on the big picture of your business and not on this never ending to do list, you'll experience more freedom, right, in your business. A CEO sees the big picture, and that's what you're going to be able to focus on. What's the big picture? Where am I going? You're going to be able to decide on a course of action, right? And delegate the tasks that will help lead you to the goal, so that you have time to focus on the big picture, right? And the same is true, for solo entrepreneurs and VAs. Be able to or give yourself permission to dream the big picture and create those action steps so that you can move your business in that direction. It's an amazing thing that happens when you spend time in your zone of genius. You'll grow your business, you'll scale your business faster because you're not wasting time doing the things that you're not great at. When you cut out those tasks that take you longer than they would take other people to do, you now have more time to be and focus on being in your genius zone, right? That's how you generate more profit. That's how you do things better, more efficiently, right? That's how you are able to do things in excellence, right? And the truth in finding your genius zone requires a lot of honesty, like I said, and self awareness. You'll have to be able to take a step back, right? Examine a few things, including things like who you are as a person. What are your core values? Tasks that you're currently doing, are those getting you closer to your goals? Like I said, right? The work that you really love to do, right? You really have to be able to step back and take an honest assessment of where you are in your business, right? So give these exercises a try. Stay focused on what you're good at, right? Because only you can say for sure what that looks like, right? What you like and what you don't like, right? It's okay to be selfish, right? It's okay. Don't listen to you know anyone else except your own intuition and what God is telling you. Okay? All right. So, if you're ready to get started on uncovering your genius zone, then feel free to type something in the comment section. If you're watching the replay or if you're on now and that's something that's of interest to you, then make sure you do that. Reach out to me. Um, Reply to the email that was sent out. If you're on my Facebook page, type a comment, and I'll be sure to contact you. Okay. Um, the other thing is, if you are, because I'm big on systems, I'm big on automation, I'm big on helping people in their processes, right? And so if you're someone that feels like, well, I kind of need a little tweaking in my process, or I kind of need someone to look at, where I am, then the what you need to do is just go to chatwithdream.info for a complimentary success call. Chatwithdream.info. And on this call, we'll go through a series of questions to kind of assess your systems and your automations to see what improvements are needed, right? Determine what solutions are available that will be beneficial to you. That's beneficial to you getting closer to achieving your goals, so that you're not the busy bee, right? So you can up level your business and your game and operate in your zone of genius. And so if that's you, and I will definitely type this in on my Facebook page, but if that's you, then go to chatwithdream.info to book a time that's convenient for you. Now, with that said, um, if you're on the call and you have questions, I'll open up the line for questions. Otherwise, if you're on my Facebook page and you have questions and you either, go and, join the replay or what have you, and you have questions even after the call, then feel free to go ahead and type those questions in as well. All right, so let's see. I have definitely am looking forward to working with anyone that is interested in um, creating some systems, implementing some systems, and helping you to free up your time, helping you to stop operating like a busy bee, right? All over the place. That is not where God wants you to be, right? You need to be focused on the big picture. You need to make sure that you are available for those opportunities so you can seize opportunities that's available to you. Okay? All right. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to open up the line to see if anyone has any questions. Um, and yeah, and that's what we're going to do. So, all right. So if you have any questions for me, feel free to answer or ask the questions that you have right now. And if you're on my Facebook Live, then you can type in the comments section also. So I'll give a few moments to see if anyone has any questions, and then we'll get off this call. I've thoroughly enjoyed doing this, so this is something that I absolutely love to do. So let me know. Unmute. You can unmute yourself, and if not, we will move forward. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Sure.